Shalom Uvracha. There's a fundamental dispute between the Rambam and the Ramban concerning the essence of prayer, of tefillah. According to the Rambam, prayer is daily. The Rambam says we have to serve Hashem. The service of Hashem is every day, and the most basic, the core way in which we serve Hashem is in prayer. The Ramban says no, prayer needs to be something heartfelt. It needs to be something that emerges, that arises from the depth of a person's being. And that prayer doesn't arise daily on an automatic level every day. Rather, says the Ramban, prayer is only in a time of crisis, in a time of strife, where you feel you need God in your life, then you pray. That's the Torah level of prayer according to the Ramban. That's a very different flavor of prayer from the Rambam. According to the Rambam, every single day there's a mitzvah to daven to Hashem. And the question is, why? Why should there be, or what's the underlying nature, the meaning of this daily prayer? If it's not arising from the depths, if it's not coming from this place of crisis, of need, of challenge, then what is its meaning? What's the purpose of it? I think the answer to this is latent in this week's Parasha, Parashas Pinchas, where we find the Karban Tamid. The Karban Tamid is a constant offering. And the Torah says about the Karban Tamid that it derives from Har Sinai. Oilas Tamid ha'asuya behar Sinai. Now, on the one hand, the Rishonim explain that the nature or the original form of the Tamid offering was already present at Har Sinai. But perhaps on another level, Har Sinai, where we receive the Torah, is described by the Mishnah as an institutionalization of the relationship between the Jewish people and Hashem and God. It's called Yom Chatunasai, the day of his marriage, meaning there's a connection between the Jewish people and Hashem, and this connection is institutionalized at Har Sinai. Now, the relationship itself is a relationship that's replete with love and intimacy and elevation, like the relationship between husband and wife. But when that relationship is institutionalized, then it also requires constant maintenance. A relationship isn't just about the wonderful lights, the wonderful moments for which we live, but it's also about constant maintenance. And if we don't make that daily cup of coffee or say the daily things that need to be said, then we run the risk of losing the relationship, of it falling apart, because you don't always have that inspiration. You don't always have those bright lights. You need that constant maintenance. That's the idea of the Karban Tamid. The Karban Tamid is the constant maintenance of our connection with Hashem. We bring ourselves by means of the Karban, and the same thing in the prayer of the Rambam. The Rambam says every day we need to daven, we need to pray to God. Every day we bring ourselves and we express our dependence. We express our hope. We express our connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. In the same vein, the Karban Tamid is called the bread of Hashem. Et korbani lachmi leishai. So we say leishai, meaning the bread is consumed. We burn it. Hashem doesn't need to eat the bread. But nevertheless, it's called bread. Why is it called Hashem's bread? What does it mean? Because when we want to nourish the connection, when we want any idea of nourishing, needs to be constant. It has to happen the whole time. It says in Nefesh Chaim in Shar Beis that this is the idea of the Karban Tamid, Karbani Lachmi. It's constantly nourishing, constantly providing the nutrition of the connection between us and the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And that's the idea, to maintain constantly the connection by means of our daily prayer between us and the Kadosh Baruch Hu. We bring ourselves to the table, we do our part of that maintenance, and the Kadosh Baruch Hu reciprocates by giving us all the blessing, all the bounty, hearing those prayers and making sure that everything that we need is taken care of from His side of that two-way relationship which is expressed in our prayer. We should be zeicher, we should have this chus to always pray to Hashem. It's such a special merit to be able to pray, to be able to turn to Hashem and to maintain that relationship. And we should always merit the bounty, the goodness that HaKadosh Baruch Hu reciprocates and gives us. We should all have a beautiful Shabbos.